What's going on, guys? Jada Black here. Salute to everyone that's on in. I woke up today to this. Jada Pinkett Smith did an interview because she's promoting her new book, and she admitted that her and Will Smith have been separated for 6 years or so, right? Now, there were rumblings that the marriage had its issues, right? We saw with the August Alsina situation that maybe they have been going in separate directions. You know, there have been rumors that they have an open marriage. But the Will Smith slap told me that I wouldn't say they were in an open relationship, but that Will Smith is somebody that wants this thing to stay together and the perception of them together. So that whole open thing, just, him going around slapping people, lets me know that, there might still be something there, especially on his end. And I'm also going to tell you why Jada Pinkett Smith is throwing Will Smith under the bus, basically saying that she thought that slap was a skit. You got to ask yourself the question, why is she admitting this now? Why is she admitting now that her and Will Smith have been separated for all these years, but wanted the perception to be that they were together? If Jada Pinkett Smith wanted this marriage to completely be over, she could do it, but I think that she likes punishing Will Smith. I think she likes gaslighting him with the Tupac posts, because recently she had been doing that. And you know what the ironic thing about this whole Jada Pinkett Smith news is that I was actually going to do a video on her today. Another commentary. I may put that off. It was in regards to her book and just her. And what she do, she goes and she admits to the world that she is basically with Will Smith for the perception, because if she was truly unhappy, she could have left him already. I mean, she's already admitting that they have been separated, which makes sense with the August Alsina thing. It makes sense with that. And the fact that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock over a woman that he, according to Jada Pinkett Smith, he had been separated from, tells you everything you need to know about the dynamics of that marriage and who's pulling the strings, who's gaslighting who. I mean, this particular heifer has gotten into this guy's head, and he really felt like he needed to come to her defense in that moment and throw away his career. He could have literally, and he may have, thrown his career away over this person here. A person that wants out of that marriage, but she doesn't want to let Will Smith go. That's what that is. She doesn't want Will Smith to be happy with another woman. She wants Will Smith to suffer, because if she didn't, she would have already tried to end this marriage already. But they've privately separated, which lets me know, once again, they are not really with each other, probably sleeping in separate bedrooms or properties. But you get online or you go to award shows like you're together, and you got this man going on stage slapping people, slapping one of his longtime friends over Jada so he can make her happy, so he can, because again, the dynamics of this marriage is all about Jada and her happiness. And the reason why I was going to speak about her and her book is because, she tries to blame it on, PTSD and her troubled upbringing as to why she can't love. But she seems to have no problem loving Tupac and letting the world know she loves Tupac. Ultimately, I think that Jada Pinkett Smith needs to just go ahead and file that paperwork. After this news has come out, it lets you know we're probably very close to them going that route. I could definitely see this being a preemptive thing as far as divorce is concerned. She probably already has a lawyer, and maybe Will does as well. and they're just waiting for the right opportunity to pull the, to go full on with it. I don't think Will is going to go first. I still think that he wants the perception to be for his career. And that's why y'all see why Jada Pinkett Smith is so unhappy, because them being together had only benefited Will Smith. And you could just tell that angered her, that bothered her. And she did everything she could to tear down that perception, to the point to where she's doing interviews now and she's basically telling the world, you know what, we ain't together. We ain't together. Now, this according to Variety. Jada Pinkett Smith thought the Will Smith Oscar slap was a skit. I guess she'd been watching too many of these Instagram skits. Why would that be a skit? Seriously. Reveals they were separated for 6 years before that. We're still figuring out our marriage. Well, you need to figure out a divorce and go your separate ways at this point. The kids are grown. You're an unhappy person. He's become unhappy. It's just time to walk away. Jada Pinkett Smith is finally ready to talk about the Will Smith Oscar slap, revealing to People magazine that she originally thought it was a skit when Will took to the stage after presenter Chris Rock made a joke about Jada's bald head. Rock was presenting the Oscar for Best Documentary Feature at the time. It was the first time Jada has addressed the slap outside of posting an Instagram graphic just after the slap that read, "This is the reason for healing. This is the season for healing, and I'm here for it." It's funny how this is how maniacal this woman is. She waits until she has a book to promote to speak about this. Unbelievable. So I thought, this is a skit, Jada said. I was like, there's no way that Will hit him. It wasn't until Will started to walk back to his chair that I even realized it wasn't a skit. Because she saw his face. She saw his demeanor. Once the two were alone, Jada says she asked Will, "Are you okay? I'm going to be by his side." Jada added to People about the slap, but also allow him to have to figure this out himself. Well, I mean, what is there really to figure out? I mean, this is a guy who clearly had issues that made him believe that he had to defend his wife. That's why he did it. The whole figuring out thing is him feeling like, you know what, she's gaslighted me. We've had arguments about how I didn't do this for her, I didn't do that for her, and that's why he did this. That's why he did this. Because remember, Will Smith was kind of, he was there, laughing at what Chris Rock was saying at first. It was until he saw Jada Pinkett Smith's demeanor that he felt the need to go up there and do that, which lets me know that she's probably gotten on him for not, quote unquote, protecting her. Y'all know what women do, like her, right? They gaslight, they accuse you of things that you haven't done, claim you're not protecting them, right? Probably bringing up his upbringing. A lot of that goes into it. This is years of mental manipulation. Years. Rock's joke about Jada's bald head proved divisive because her public battle with alopecia. Will reacted by taking to the stage and slapping Rock across the face. He returned to his seat and yelled at Rock, "Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth." Smith, who went on to win the Oscar for Best Actor that same night, ended up resigning from the Academy amid backlash to the slap. The Academy then banned Smith from his membership and from attending events such as the Oscars for 10 years. We're still figuring out, Jada told People about the state of her marriage to Will, revealing that they had been quietly separated for 6 years. So that lets me know that maybe there wasn't an open marriage. They were just separated. The whole August, that's why she will say that she didn't cheat on Will. She'll say that she didn't cheat on Will because they weren't together, basically. We've been doing some really heavy duty work together. We just got deep love for each other, and we're going to figure out what that looks like for us. Jada and Will now have been separated for 7 years. When asked by Today why their marriage crumbled, Jada answered, "I think by the time we got to 2016, we were just exhausted with trying. I think we were both kind of just still stuck in our fantasy of what we've thought the other person should be. I made a promise that there will never be a reason for us to get a divorce," she added. "We will work through whatever, and I just haven't been able to break that promise. We live separately." Y'all see that? They live separately. No wonder she's on Instagram posting old videos of her and Tupac. Okay? It is because that is who she's in love with. And if Tupac was alive today, she would be trying to get with him. She would have already divorced Will Smith a long time ago. But see, there's nobody that Jada Pinkett knows that could fill that void except for Tupac. That's why she's constantly reminiscing, especially recently, which lets me know that her putting this out was calculated. Will apologized for the slap in various statements and video posts in the year after the 2022 Oscars took place, saying in one post, "There is no part of me that thinks that there was a right way to behave in that moment. There's no part of me that thinks that's the optimal way to handle a feeling of disrespect or insults. It's like, I made a choice on my own, from my own experience, from my history with Chris. Jada had nothing to do with it. I'm sorry. I want to say sorry to my kids and my family for the heat that I brought on all of us." So she waited until she had something to sell in order to bring this back up now. I think that she's better off getting a divorce. If I was Will Smith, I'd get divorced, but I know, knowing this woman like I know her, she'll try to squeeze every dime she can out of Will Smith. I think Will Smith would divorce her, but she would see at the time, you gotta understand, their kids are grown now, but I believe Willow probably was a minor then. Jaden may have been as well. I'm not sure. But maybe that's why Will Smith himself was hesitant to get a divorce, because he knew she would try to squeeze him for every dime she could. Right? Because I think at the time Willow was a minor. So she definitely would have been coming at him for child support. But now that the children are grown, I think that he should just go ahead and just say whatever. Let's get a divorce. Honestly, I think if Will Smith was to divorce Jada, I think that would actually help his career. I really do, because people know who the problem is. They know Will Smith is, for years, has always been, a decent guy, not somebody to cause issues. But we know one person who internally is causing issues because she hates her boring family life. Let's be real. Jada Pinkett Smith hates her boring family life. I think Will Smith was okay with his boring family life. She was not. She was not, because that's not who she is. She comes, women, what's funny? Women like Jada Pinkett Smith, they come from the backgrounds that they come from. And instead of them wanting better, they tend to gravitate towards that dysfunction. Jada would probably be happier if she just had a couple baby daddies, was dating this rapper, that rapper, right? She'd probably be happier that way, where she could be out here living her best life and not have, a famous husband who has made a ton of money, is giving her the family structure that she never really had. But that's not Jada. That's not her. She's somebody that loves dysfunction and is willing to go right to it.
We are back 8:14 with.
Okay, let me see if I can get through some of this. Y'all can go and check this interview out if you want to.
I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
Right.
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
See? I think we'll need to go ahead and get that divorce, man. I mean, I would just rather cut ties. Yeah, you know, she may come after me for support, but she was a working actress. It wasn't like she was at home with the kids, you know. Just go ahead and cut your losses and move on and focus on your career and focus on being a bachelor, man. That's what I would say. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next one.